Hello, everybody. How you doing?
We're doing.
All right, we don't even seem to be. Oh, hey! I didn't even know, Nate, you were showing up. I didn't hear from you, buddy.
Yeah, what's up, bud?
Oh, I just want to say Merry Christmas to everybody. I feel left out. Only Brent and I don't have hats on, man.
I can go get one.
Yeah.
I have one
I
downstairs.
have a holiday shirt on, so I feel okay.
There you go. Is that better?
As long as you stop there, Kev.
Wow.
No.
Hey, Nate, that was an opportunity for you, buddy. All right, guys. I just wanted to say, well, first of all, Merry Christmas, everybody. Hope you had a good Christmas and getting ready for the new year.
Same to you.
All of you.
Okay. Yeah. And it's what we do at the end of every year. We kind of talk about, not just lock and load, but what games excite you, what movies are exciting you, who's exciting you, in general. So I'll start off with
those answers. Probably shouldn't be given on a live broadcast.
No, we want to have it memorized. So
I'm just saying.
All right. I will say I saw the new Spider-Man the night it came out. My son dragged me out to see it. I was very impressed.
Yeah, I heard it's good.
Best Spider-Man that I've seen ever.
Wow.
Yeah. So they really did a great job of humor. They even honored some of the memes that are out there, if you pay attention to any of that crap. And the storyline was, I thought, pretty well done. And, I just thought it was a really good movie. Haven't seen it. I do recommend it.
Excellent.
I have to check that out when it gets released.
What, you're not going to go see it in the theater?
Dude, I got 4 kids, like 7 and under. That's not going to happen.
Date night.
Yeah. That's when you leave the kids home.
My son and his girlfriend went to go see it, and he gave it multiple thumbs up.
Yeah, same here. My guys all saw it. They loved it.
Right.
Yeah.
Multiple thumbs up. Are you kids from Chernobyl or something?
He borrowed a thumb from his girlfriend.
You live in Pripyat or something?
Nate lives closer to the nuclear reactor than I do.
Oh. Well, that does explain somewhat.
Actually, I did try to hire on as a security guard at one. There's one just hour and a half or so away from where I live. So it's not too bad, though. I think the radiation's far enough away. I don't think it's affecting us just yet. If I have a 3-headed kid or something, you guys will know.
He's got a lot of hair on his head, on his face, but not on his head. But other than that, it's great.
So, okay, I'll start off. What have you guys played, watched, seen, read that you felt was made 2021 more exceptional than it was on its own?
2021 was awesome. This has been so much fun.
It was only better because it wasn't 2020.
Golly.
When's the 15 days over? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, we're still waiting on that.
Oh, I like his hat. There you go, Brent.
All right, now
I told you I could go get the hat.
There you
I
go.
actually asked my wife to bring me the hat. So
I love it. That's actually a great hat.
That is a pretty cool hat. Yeah.
I've had this thing longer than I've had my kids. I got this 20-something years ago, back when I used to work at Kinko's, which tells you how long ago it was, right? Because it was still called Kinko's. And I just working the counter there, was looking for something goofy to wear for the holidays that year, and snagged this at the Target that was in the parking lot behind us. And I've had it ever since. So
Nice.
It's great. Yeah. Because you, like at a soccer tournament, you just tell folks, yeah, just look for me in the hat. And people will always ask, what hat? You'll know it when you see it. So.
Von Deacon's saying that explains your glowing personality, Nate, being close to the nuke facility.
All right, let's try that.
Well, hello everyone out there in internet land. I see Mike's here. Michael, wow, I haven't seen you, Mike, for a long time. Mike Nagel's here. Mike Pentecoste's here. Wow, there's a lot of guys I haven't seen for a while. Nate dropped out already. Okay.
He's trying something.
He just wanted to sit in a different spot on the screen.
Musical chairs. We're all going to exit when the music
I'm
stops.
gonna go. I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
Sorry, I had to switch the connection. I was getting a lot of lag. Like you guys all sounded like robots. I was like, all right, I got to switch and get a different connection. So it's better now. You guys are actually there and moving.
So you finally switched to your neighbor's Wi-Fi, right?
No, for some reason, my back porch, my Wi-Fi works everywhere except my back porch. So I have to run it off my phone when I'm out back here.
Get an extender. Get an extender will help you.
I have to figure something out. I mean, I've got an Ethernet port. They actually put it right out back here, but my laptop doesn't have the little connection for it. So maybe I can put a router out here or something.
Put a little repeater. Yeah.
It's the radiation.
Did any of you guys do anything exceptional for Christmas?
The kids got taken care of by Santa. You know how it is when you got young kids and they're all excited. Santa showing up. My kids spent the whole evening on their tablets watching the Santa tracker, which actually turns out to be a great thing because once he hits the East Coast, I can say, hey, go to bed, because if you're awake, he's just going to scoot right on by the house and you're not getting shit. So
that's when you just tell the kids Santa's past phase line alpha.
Yeah. Well, it's bad because we want them to stay up late enough that they're all excited, but they'll sleep in a little bit and they don't wake us up at 4 a.m. And the kids are like, okay, it's can we go to bed now, Daddy? And it's like, no, it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It's not yet. We'll get there.
That's hilarious.
Actually,
I got this gift. Look, it's a map, and then I'll shut up. But look, it's a map of the Battle of San Jacinto in Texas.
Oh, nice.
It's got a little description nonsense, and the missus got it all framed up. It's pretty cool.
Pretty slick. I like that.
Yeah,
Nice.
that is very cool.
It's allegedly limited edition. I don't know what that means. It's one of 250 until I print 250 more. But anyway,
But it won't be part of that 250. So there you go.
yeah.
Does somebody want to tell Kev that he was reflecting the porn from his other screen? In the,
Let me just close those windows and I'll hold it back up.
My son got me, I don't know if you guys can see it because I stuck it out there. He got me on top there an Admiral Thrawn from Star Wars
Nice.
picture.
oh, awesome.
No, that's pretty cool.
Put that up when I get some time.
But that's not real Star Wars, though.
Yes, it is. Damn it.
That's
Shut up.
Star Wars Legends.
Yeah, no, that doesn't.
No. Thrawn's been canonized because he got written into one of the new continuity cartoons, and he was name checked in the second season of The Mandalorian. So he is now
He's the best.
officially back into canon.
That should have been the last trilogy.
Oh hell yeah!
The whole Thrawn
would have
trilogy.
been better.
We
They're going to go back and get rid of the original trilogy. I keep hearing, and I hope to God that happens. Not the original trilogy, the latest trilogy. That garbage thing of we're going to ride space horses across Star Destroyers. What the hell was that nonsense?
Sporces.
The hell are they?
Sporces.
And every stupid tactical decision ever. I'm sorry, that second movie where they're flying through space and they're like, oh, we can only go this fast and they're just going to keep blowing us away piece by piece. And then you wonder why your troops mutiny. I would mutiny. Anyone would mutiny. It's like, oh, no, you're a horrible male. No, bad guy.
now look, Star Wars Tactics capped out with Episode 2 when every possible fight involving laser guns looked like Braveheart. So it's not like Star Wars Tactics just suddenly took a turn for the worse when Episode 8 rolled around. Okay, they sucked for a
Star
long
Wars
time.
has shot itself in the foot since the first movie because remember when before Aunt Owen and Uncle Beru, or the other way around, Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru, I should say, before those two got killed, right? They get to the Jawas, and remember Obi-Wan says only Imperial stormtroopers are this precise, and they've been a meme ever since.
Yes.
They've never hit their target,
Yeah.
unless it's a tree on Endor. Then they hit that thing hard.
Oh, and you
Yeah.
did you see the meme where the stormtroopers they're going through the Death Star and like he bangs his head off the
Yes.
door frame, and they left it in the original movie, but they didn't have a sound effect, and then they added the sound effect in the later version of the movie,
Nice.
like the little clang on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Stormtroopers are dumber than shit.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, a good game that I'm actually going to have to the table finally, Imperial Assault. If you
I've
guys,
been playing that. I've been playing that. I've been forcing myself to go to game night because my youngest nephew has been, getting the gaming bug in him. So Blackwell, myself, my son, we played Imperial Assault a couple of nights in a row. I just picked up off of eBay a copy of the game with all the miniatures pre-painted.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
yeah, that's right, because you don't like to paint.
Oh, I can't paint. No, it's not I don't like to. I can't. There's a difference. And I know my limitations.
Did you ever get your Company of Heroes, or are you still waiting on that?
No, they're still waiting on it.
God, that is so
They're
horrible.
pre-painting yours, though, aren't they?
Yeah. I must have
Yeah.
dropped like
That's why.
$100 on that thing.
Well, I mean, the game's excellent. It was one of my favorites of 2021. Really outstanding. The miniatures are great, but whatever company they hired to do the painting for them dropped the ball something significant.
Oh, that
Because
wasn't COVID. It's COVID. Come on.
no, it's whatever. That's
Is
bullshit.
that gonna,
There's
how
only
long
so
is
much
that going to be an
2021 COVID.
excuse? How long is that
I'm
going to be an
using it
excuse?
for everything, man.
Forever.
Man, come on, please.
Hey, it's the new
Oh.
normal, man. It's the new
It's
excuse.
gonna be
It's the new normal.
2027, and it'll be like, oh, it's COVID. The game got printed wrong, and the rule book was upside down. I'm sorry.
No, it's the perfect excuse though, because if you got someone who wants to come over that you don't really like that much, and be like, nah, my wife's kind of scared of COVID, so we don't really want to have guests.
Just be honest.
Gotta
Just say,
keep
I don't want you to come over. I don't like you.
That's
What I do,
That's
it's like,
do.
nah, you suck. Don't come over.
That's what I do. That's why I have no friends.
No, I like to over and go
I
out.
like it that way.
She won't let me do that. She says I have to be nice to the neighbors.
So there you go.
And you listen?
Yeah, occasionally. I haven't yelled at them too much.
So what have you been
No.
playing, Brent? Anything?
The main gift that I got this year, my wife got me an actual old school turntable.
Nice.
Got a little Victrola one that, and then a handful of vinyl for it, a couple of Foo Fighters albums, one of the Revivalist albums. When my wife and I moved to the East Coast back in '99 from California, the one of the things that didn't end up in the moving truck was the box of vinyl that I had out there. It was left in my my in-laws' garage. Somewhere along the way, somebody broke into the garage and like trashed a whole bunch of stuff that we had in there, including my old vinyl collection, which I had a lot of pretty off-the-wall things out there. There's no way I'm going to be able to rebuild the original vinyl collection because I'm not flying back to Germany to buy a bunch of Kiss albums without the SS Lightning Bolt logo with the German reverse Z logo. Yeah, and a lot of old limited edition 12-inch Iron Maiden singles. Like I can't get those back, but I can start rebuilding the vinyl collection a little bit. So for somebody like me who's as big of a music nut as I am, it's kind of cool to be able to pull some vinyl back out and go old school with it. So that was
I got to
highlight.
interject here. It's bad. It took me halfway through your story to figure out you meant like an actual
old school turntable.
record.
Before you
Yeah,
were born.
I
Yeah.
thought you meant like wicka wicka wicka, and I'm like,
No.
what the hell? He's a
No,
DJ
not-
now.
So yeah, my DJing days were many years in the past, but we did still have turntables at the radio station when I worked there, which tells you how long ago it was. But yeah, I have not had a legit vinyl turntable in 19, 20, 21 years at this point.
Wow.
So it's nice to have one back again.
Hey, Brent,
This one's pretty tricked out. It'll stream to Bluetooth speakers and stuff.
that's
yeah,
cool. Yeah, can you explain to Nate what a radio station is as well?
I grew up with radio stations, Dick. I've even seen a vinyl album. I've never heard one played, but I've seen one.
I just figured I figured you for a Spotify guy.
No, I don't have Spotify. Nah, not really into it. I'll stream on my phone. That's about it. Come on, I'm old school. I'd rather play a board game in front of me than play it on Vassal, right? Digital advantages. I've turned that down. I like the old school analog applications. except when it comes to music. Because come on, you guys, what? It's this damn big to hold what 5 songs? No, screw that.
10 because you have both sides.
Well,
See, if
there
you want
go.
the old school, you have to have the one that has the big cone speaker thing.
Yeah, I'm not
comes
that
out
old
of it.
school.
Gramophone.
It,
The
I will say,
gramophone,
so,
exactly.
Nate, the number of songs on the album depends in large part on who the artist is, because you can fit like 2 Rush songs on one side of some vinyl. But you can fit like 27 songs from Bad Brains on one side of an album. So it's all a matter of who you're listening to.
I've never heard one in real life. I mean, I've seen it on a movie. That's about it.
Totally.
I had
about
to-
the same.
When I started driving, cars still had tape decks, right?
Mm.
The old school, just actual small tapes.
That's for 8 tracks.
Yeah,
No,
you
not
missed the
8
tracks. You missed 8 tracks.
Yeah, he missed 8 tracks. I remember
Dave, I damn near missed 8 tracks. Okay.
That was the
gonna say,
portable
You
days.
shouldn't be too much older than me. You're not like the rest of those fogies. You should be in at least my age range.
Dude, I'm pushing 50.
You're just a few years older than me. I just turned 40.
That's a decade, buddy.
What?
Yeah.
Look, the older you get, the smaller the time frames seem to matter. You know. I wake up, I creak, I pop, just like you guys do.
Here's the thing. So the great thing about having Nate around is that I'm not the youngest dude in the room anymore, which is awesome because I've known Dave for like 15, 16 years at this point.
More than that, before I had kids. My kids are 25 now.
Yeah. Pretty much every room I've ever been in with Dave, I've been the kid brother. So it's great having folks like Nate around. This is awesome.
Well, Dave's got that timeless look, you know, that Italian Jersey look. You know, he always stays dark, so you can't really tell how old he is.
Forget about it.
I think
Nate,
the
you're
funniest
already invited
connection
to the show, man. You don't have to keep kissing up. It's okay.
I think the funniest connection though is between Dave and I is he was from Staten Island, I was from Jersey, and it turns out that he had, was it your first company, Dave? I think it was in Aberdeen, New Jersey, which was about
Manawan.
in Matawan. Well, right there at Aberdeen, Matawan. It was only like 10 minutes from my house. I was like, I know where this place is.
You probably cut each other off more than once and give
Probably, shared
the
the state bird, you know, of New Jersey.
Did you know what's funny? Was it yesterday or the day before they had that shooting in Jersey? It was in Matawan. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, it was on the news. So there was some type of shooting or killing. I mean, nothing.
Really?
I love how Dave says that shooting in New Jersey as though there's only one.
Well, it depends on the area. That area, it would be more unique. That area would be more unique. Yeah.
As though there's only a singular one that you can be specific with.
Yeah.
I went to Woodbridge when it was safe.
Yeah. Totally different world now.
Yeah, Dave, I didn't realize you were 180 years old, man.
Yeah. It's what's they call that? That's what the spice does for you.
Yeah.
The spice must flow.
Hey, did you guys watch the new Dune movie? What you think?
Very
I did.
brown.
I did. That was the first time I ever watched Dune.
I watched
never read it, never watched the movie before. I fell asleep halfway through it, and I was just like, "This isn't for me."
No, the first Dune was horrible, in my opinion.
So
I didn't see him.
Gary Ardwolf actually did a really good breakdown of the new Dune movie on his channel. And I agree with a lot of what he said in there in terms of sort of digging into the movie and comparing to the books. I will say this, if you go back and watch the original Kyle MacLachlan movie versus the new one, they hit a lot of the same beats. Like a lot of the same key scenes from the books are the ones that they included in the movie, in the new one. That it clearly tells you that the guys making the original movie, which was crap, like I'm not trying to pretend otherwise, that they had picked out all the right moments to tell in the story. But the problem is they just, because they rushed the whole thing along, it was
bad delivery.
It was sprinting from scene to scene without any real chance to actually develop the characters or understand what they're trying to do. The new one does that a lot better.
Yeah, I have to. I mean, I didn't like the first Dune movie at all. And I tried watching it before I watched this one. I was like, yeah, God, I couldn't even get through it. I had to stop.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. But the actually new one, I was not a big Dune fanatic anyway, but I did end up enjoying that.
Yeah. The first two books I enjoyed. After that, the books turned to crap as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Isn't there
But-
something about an emperor that's a worm?
God Emperor of Dune.
Yeah, like
Oh,
all
yeah.
I remember is there's a big emperor and he becomes a worm, and then the worms go away, and then the emperor worm dies, and the worms come back.
Yeah,
Not-
that's
not
kind of
quite,
kind
but
of the
that's-
whole-
that gets us into an entirely different show than I think what David intended.
Hey,
that is basically the plot line between God Emperor of Dune, which was the fourth book in the series.
Yeah.
Right.
After that, when I'm a huge Duneophile, I got hooked on Dune when I was in junior high, and I remember the David Lynch when it came out in high school. Thought it was a great movie. Had absolutely virtually nothing to do with the movie, but I still enjoyed it as a movie. Still one of my favorite movies of all time. I was not having high hopes for the new Dune, and I was actually pleasantly surprised. And Mo, you're right. The first half of the book, the first movie, is boring as all hell unless you're a true Duneophile. Second book, the second movie, the later half of the book is going to be a lot better. I can almost promise you that.
Yeah.
But my biggest problem with the movie was it was brown everywhere. It's like
It's
what
supposed to be.
you haven't heard of color. You
Yeah.
don't you can put paintings and paint on the inside of the buildings. I don't get why they did that. The one thing that I did love that they did in the new one that they didn't do in the original, and this is really getting into the weeds, is the symbolism of the bull and what it meant to House Atreides. David Lynch completely overshadowed that, didn't even pay attention to that in the original. So I was very happily surprised in the new one where that symbiology came in. And to really understand it, you've got to have read the book.
Are we sure that David Lynch didn't try to put it in and was told to take stuff like that? Because
I'm sure
the original cut of his movie was like 4 hours and change. And by the time which was basically 2 movies, right? By the time they hacked it back down to fit into one movie, again, the whole thing is on speed. And so having heard some of what's come out since that first movie was made, you wonder how much Lynch might have got it more right than wrong had he not been under the pressures to cut it down as much as he had. So I will. So this is a more general sci-fi comment for movies and sci-fi world building than anything. One of the things that cracks me up about Dune, but also Star Wars and so many of the others, how come every single goddamn planet in the universe except Earth has exactly one type of biome on it, right? It's the desert planet, the swamp planet, the volcano planet, the jungle planet. Like we managed to cram all of that crap onto one marble out here on Earth. Why can't, seriously, Tatooine, why is the entire thing a desert, right? There's no swamp anywhere. Why is all of Arrakis one giant flipping desert?
Why not?
There's no stray oasis somewhere.
well, maybe
It's a sci-fi trope. It always has been.
Absolutely. No, Mo, I totally get it. I'm just trying to figure out why everybody leans into it so heavily instead of like actually not fucking that up.
Makes it easy because then you don't have to have multiple cultures, and all the rest of it.
I know. Yeah,
generic.
One
it seems
color is
lazy.
a lot cheaper than 4 colors when you film things. You know that, right?
Yeah. It still feels lazy. Sorry.
Well, for Arrakis, we can get into the whole reason behind the sand trouts or why there's no water anywhere on the planet. But yes, you are correct that let's take a look at Star Wars. Tatooine, Yavin, Hoth.
Yeah.
Star Trek
Hoth
as
is
well.
cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
He said Hoth. I thought he said Hogwarts.
Hogwarts. No, that's the other thing.
Now,
My God.
I know. Kev was playing some North Africa game. He actually gave a game a compliment. I heard it myself.
Yeah, I give compliments all the time.
Picking on you, Kev. So, what else have you been playing besides the North Africa game? You seem to really enjoy that. I like the video.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's a good game. Let's see. So, I did a lot of Civil War the last few months. So, just wrapped up Thunder in the Ozarks and to Washington, to take Washington. That was pretty cool. And then I've got the old SPI magazine Nordcap set up. I'm about to get started on that. So I'm kind of, geeking out on that. I think that'll be fun. And then might actually have this really cool game called World at War 85. I've got that out next to play. Yeah, it's kind of iffy.
Is that one of those Kickstarters?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I
Oh,
think
those
so.
are so underdeveloped. I don't know. I can't believe I got that.
Flash in the pan.
And they always show up late.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's the end result that counts. I tell that to my wife, I tell that to my kids, and I'll tell it to you guys.
So there you go. So now Gimpy won't cry.
Yeah. Combat Volume 2. Yeah, that's gonna
He
be a
got
good
both 1 and 2.
No, the first one is good. It takes a little bit to get into, and you definitely have to read the updated rules because the rules that came in the box weren't excellent. But with it clarified, get the errata, you're good to go.
Yeah,
and I'm expecting good things for Volume 2.
It's nothing like almost making a game that works. That's very cool. Well, yeah.
There's the Kev we all know and love.
There we go. Have you guys tried Eric Lee Smith's Across the 5 Aprils? I know Victory Games did it originally, one of the best Civil War games I felt ever played. But they redid it recently, I think, with Compass Games. And I know Eric told me, chat with him on the phone, I guess it's been a little while now, but he had said he had redone the system and made it a 10-sided die compared to a 6-sided die.
That's that the P Ridge is one of the battles I played from that. And it's pretty good. It's more generic. I don't know if anyone else has played. Has anyone else played it? I just felt like it was less thematic than, say, Lutman's series, right? Lutman's series is, you really feel like
Blind Swords.
It's the Blind Sword series. Thanks, Mo.
Yep.
Playing the, you really feel like you're doing Civil War stuff, and the maps are very engaging. And obviously, I think the line of battle is, if you want to get more technical, then that's a really, really excellent, clean system. His just felt pretty light, and I think you lose something there. I didn't know. If I didn't know it was a Civil War game, I really wouldn't know what I was playing.
The thing I liked about it was you never have that, I get to move and I get to attack.
Yeah.
I like that because you just never knew when the Confederacy was going to attack. You knew who was going to attack. And I like the idea that, like, if you're playing a certain Gettysburg thing, I think one of the Union forces got their chit in the cup twice.
Yep.
Because it was twice. And I like the way that added flavor to the units. And I like that I couldn't have my plans nor be planned against on a systematic sequence of play. That's what I thought it brought to the table.
The chip pull works really, really well with Civil War stuff. I think it's great. So I think you nailed it from that perspective. And the maps are really nice. The counters are really nice.
Yeah, Kev,
chip pull works with it works with everything besides just Civil War. Worked really well with World War 85, the World War II version, Nations at War. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Plenty of
there's other systems, but he did it first, I think.
Yeah.
Because he did it also with Panzer Command, which was also one of the early ventures into that type of system of play.
Yeah, Kev mentioned the P Ridge scenarios out of Across 5 Aprils. Mike Colello has been playing that one over on our site. He just, part 7 of his series went up actually this morning on our site. He's chunked up his videos a little shorter than they used to be. And he's been playing the P Ridge scenario out of Across 5 Aprils and video and the whole thing. So he's up to part 7. He's probably got at least 2 more to go before
that's awesome.
wraps up.
That's cool. Nice. To watch.
But yeah, he's been running that one on our site for a month and a half now. And that's what Mike does. One of the things that's great about Mike's videos is that he plays the game all the way to completion. Sometimes that last episode kind of hurts a little bit to get all the way through because you kind of know what's going to happen, but Mike's not quitting on anything. He's going to get all the way through the whole thing.
That's awesome.
So you'll see it all. But yeah, he's been doing the P Ridge scenario from Across 5 Aprils for a while now. So he's really dug into it.
So have you got anything on the table there, Mo? Anything you've been playing?
Lately, no, I've not. I've been so busy. This past month and a half has just been kind of nuts. And since just leading into mid-November, and then it got really nuts after Thanksgiving, and one more day tomorrow at work, and then I'm off for a couple weeks. So I'm looking forward to actually getting to not be running around all the time and get some gaming in, because I got Assault at Red Horizon 41 I got to play, and a prototype of Purple Haze. So those I'll be playing for reviews. So I'm looking forward to that. And then Kevin and I did start a NATO game, but was kind of just a putzing around type of game. But one of these weeks we're going to get back into it for real.
Yep, I'm looking forward to that.
Start playing because that's a real fun game. What
No,
about
Mo, you like NATO? No.
Yeah, you
Never
know,
talking.
it's something to do.
It's the only thing you've talked about this year.
Yeah, I know. Well,
Unfortunately,
it's a
my table
great
still
game.
has gift wrap stuff all over it out here. So
There you go.
most of November and December, I lose my game table because my office is out away from the rest of the house. And so my game table becomes the gift wrapping table.
Santa left
What was
evidence.
the last thing you played, Brent, that impressed you?
From this past year. So I poked around some with MMP's Iron Curtain, and some of the scenarios I think probably needed an extra trip or two through the playtester, but by and large, they're pretty good. What I like is it's a great kit to develop your own, to kind of explore a variety of options through that Cold War goes hot in Europe. So that's always something that's fun for me.
Right.
Anytime you can do Cold War stuff, it's moth to a flame for me, right? Because I've talked about it a bunch on our podcast over the years that it's Cold War stuff has a lot of meaning for me, in part because I was living in Germany through the middle of the 80s, and so we used to get the games, and the first thing we do is open up the map, try to find where we live. It's if you're living in the States and you want to fight a battlefield over your hometown, you got to hope a Civil War shootout was somewhere near you. If you're living in Europe, in the 70s and 80s, yeah, they're all over it. So
yeah.
When America Breach comes out for World at War, we're seeing. You never know.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah. How far are you away from what is it? Blood something. Blood.
Blood and Fury.
Blood and Fury.
Yeah, Blood and Fury.
It's like a
Fury.
Knowledge Council, but no, it's not. It's honestly, they're pretty much done. I mean, that we. I don't know if you guys saw. I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, a week ago, whatever it was, we released 2 free scenarios. Or at least I know we released one, Sky Soldiers, and there's another one coming. And it has a new scenario format, which everyone seems to be pretty happy with. So I was waiting for the bitching to start, but the happy people, no, they didn't give me any.
We don't complain. We don't complain anymore, Dave.
Are you kidding me? We have 2 rule books here. I have one here. We have one that's called the Kevin Sharp edition.
Which game system though?
Yeah.
All
Because
games.
no, I was gonna say it depends. If it's like Lock and Load Tactical, it's whatever Lock and Load Tactical is, like 100 pages or whatever the rules, not taking out all the other stuff. But the newer editions can be up to like 150 now. I mean,
Yeah. No, we put a whole big a biography in the back and how it was, the original developer was born and
there you go.
Dimensions, No, we're getting rid of,
Zoom.
but we're going to start pushing more of the handbook over the let's say total core rules.
Yeah, I love the handbook. The handbook is awesome.
But when we did
the flip card thing.
what?
Is that what you talking about? The flip card?
No. The handbook is basically
a condensed rule book.
What? Excuse me.
Condensed rule book.
It's kind of a condensed rule book. There's no narrative. There's no Kickstarter game. Starter kit game in there. It's just basically the rule. We tried actually reducing it in font size for those who want a smaller rule book, but honestly, we only saved like 20 pages, 30 pages at the most.
And I couldn't read it.
Yeah, and then people were both bitching about it being too small, so it's down to 100 pages basically. I mean, give or take, probably a little bit more than 100 pages.
And you've got the bigger font too, so that's understandable, right? And you've got a lot of art in it, so it comes across as a big, daunting rule book. But when you start actually flipping through it, it's really like someone was just asking earlier on: is how hard is it to get into it? Lock and Load Tactical and all that sort of stuff's pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah.
And then
It's not too hard to get into.
the latest revision, and this is part of the Kev Sharp edition, we put the word optional after the artillery barrages and stuff. Certain rules that certain of our elite players complain that say optional. So we fixed all that.
But if you want to make it the Kev Sharp edition, you have to have not only optional, but then you have to have next to each of the rules that are important, you must have important next to each of those in red.
That was
That would be the whole book.
and you know what?
That's the joke.
You know that exactly. That set of rules from Hanu, that is actually how he does all the rule books for that system, with that red highlighting through it. It's crazy. Anyway, whole nother topic.
So,
The Kev Sharp rulebook, really? So, I mean,
we actually call it the Kev book. The Kev
yeah. Just
What you need to do is you need to do another lock and load tactical. Go back a little bit, Napoleonic era, I should say, and have it be Heroes of Sharps Rifles, and have Kev running Sharps Rifles, and don't have it SHIARPE. Just drop the E.
I'll just show you. We have this coming for the on the new cover, so this way there'll be no arguing about it. Got a little image up there.
Nice.
So and that's
Perfect. It pops up right over his head.
couldn't have been better.
I mean,
and
it looks
appropriate
kind of like
level of scowl.
yeah,
What?
it looks kind of like a gay Crocodile Dundee, man.
Well, he's mad about one of the rules.
Shots fired.
Wow, here we go. All right, let's go.
So,
Right.
but yeah. So anyway, so that's that, and so as far as that,
You didn't say when the game's going to go to Kickstarter. You managed to divert.
Avoid the question.
Divert by going. Oh,
Are you trying out for a new job in Washington?
To his credit, he didn't just say, "Don't know, we're waiting on COVID to go away." So
no. You have to be vaccinated to be able to do our Kickstarter. That's the rule.
Oh well.
And all the boosters.
Right, and all the boosters. Yeah.
And all the boosters.
Yes. No, in all fairness, really early in January, maybe even the first week, but very quickly in January, Heroes of the Bitter Harvest is going to go on to Kickstarter, followed directly by Blood and Fury. Okay. Anything else? I don't know yet on a date. Basically, because I'm going to be honest with everybody, I don't want to print in China. I've been saying that for years, but I really don't want to print in China.
You got no choice.
Yes, I do. There's always a choice. You got money. You got
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's that's the point. You got money. You got choices.
Let's
but-
put it this way.
I have a lot of my own printing stuff, and I have a printer now, and we're going to see some changes. I think. I put point blank.
Not the printer we've talked about, the 87 one.
No. That
Okay.
That guy needs.
That was
guy
smoking some
definitely
severe
He
crack.
needs a shot.
That guy was smoking crack laced with fentanyl.
I actually
and Drano.
I gave the point blank game to China, and I got a price quote, what I expected, and I gave it to a U.S. printer. I was thrilled I found the U.S. printer. He prints games. I'm not going to say who he is because I'm not looking for anyone to write him nasty letters. He literally gave me a quote of $87 a game. I'm not exaggerating at all. Okay.
To put that in perspective, China's charging us about $17.
It's just $20 to be safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get an idea of the price break. I just don't want to take the 6 to 12 weeks it might take to get it there, and I can't even give China to get me a date.
Where the hell is the R in China?
It's
Staten
CHINA.
He's from Staten Island.
It's like CHINARRRR.
It's okay, Marine boy. Just calm down.
China is another way of saying Ruskies. You know that.
Go hug your grandpa. It's all right.
Okay, so you're going to get it printed in China or wherever.
Well, I'm still working on it.
We could say China.
China. Okay.
No. China.
That's going to be
China.
China.
and Nate Rogers vocabulary.
I just got to pick on all you Yankees. You guys give us Southerners crap like we don't know how to talk, but you just throw random letters in there.
or take them out, right? All those R's migrated down from Boston.
That's true.
Yeah. So
Caveman
we're looking at
versus man.
Blood and Fury probably in people's hands 2024.
Jay, the great thing about a lock and load prehistoric is you can still use a Kev Sharp counter.
Boom. Now we got shots fired. All right. That's good. I like that.
Because you know what? He'll have a spear and it'll be sharp.
Yeah.
Why
Womp
is he
womp.
here?
Yeah. Private public is right there.
Somebody
Those
wants
are,
to know why
those
we
are two
call
big ones.
Kevin. Somebody wants to know why we call it the Kevin Sharp rules. So, just for those who
Hey,
don't know,
you look. Let me say this, Dave. It's just here we go. It's kind of like your Star Wars, right? So you've got your canon, you've got your things that have been core, and then you have new things and fluff and change. And I'm trying to be probably the only person that is saying, hey, why are we making that change, and what does it change the game?
You're not the only person.
yeah, you're not the only.
Well, that's good.
You're
Well, then-
you're just the
You've
only
got picking on
vocal
me. I've
one.
got
No, no,
picking.
you are the poster boy for the change, though, or the non-change.
You're just the most vocal. So
Yeah, I was gonna say, Kevin,
And
it's
we-
not
and we-
that you're the only one wanting to change. You're the only one with a YouTube channel with 10,000 subscribers.
and
Yeah,
we
that's
love
true,
you,
I
Kev.
don't really
so-
quite have 10,000, but that's okay. Yeah.
He's at
Yeah,
least up to
me and my dog,
18,000
when
now.
me and my dog sit and watch all my videos 100 times.
The cat likes to get online too. I've noticed that.
Oh, you can tell. Yeah. So anyway, that's why whoever was asking that dumb question, that's called the Kevin rules, is because apparently I'm a whiner. So
No, actually, all you guys can thank Kev Sharp for the 5051 rule books. More 50 than 51, because I watched him play one day at Jeff Newell's game show.
Game on.
Game
it
on.
was a tournament.
Yep, and I was watching him play with, I think who you were playing against, but you're playing Heroes of the Pacific, and you guys kept going through the rule book. And I wrote down, or I
It's like
noted-
watching ASL.
Yeah. And I just said, oh, this is not the way we play in the game. And
Yeah.
that's what born that. But I think the end result was good for the most part.
Yeah. Look, I think 5-0 in the end, it's bigger than I thought it would be, but it's a lot easier to find what you're looking for, number one. And number two, I was playing in a tournament and I didn't want to beat the guy unfairly. So I wanted to make sure I wasn't cheating, because I always get the fucking rules wrong. So so I want to make sure I didn't rip the guy off. I ended up beating him, and I think it was the final you were watching, right? And so
I watched you play
so I had
too.
to make sure I wasn't
Games,
doing
yeah.
anything wrong. So
So what'd you win?
huh?
What did you win?
Copy of this friggin' lock and load game. I forget what it was. I gave it to him. I gave it to the guy, I think. I didn't.
Good choice.
Well, I had it already, so
It's like, I got this already. I got the bragging rights. Here, you can have the games.
yeah. I just wanted to beat.
I was in a tournament one Thanksgiving weekend at Gamers Armory here in town, back at the old location, and we get into the final. I want to say it was like a Dominion tournament or something. I don't remember exactly what it was, but we get into the final, and the grand prize is this, and the second prize is this, and third prize is this, and I'm looking at him going, well, I already got the one from the final, but if I finish second, then I get like the $20 store gift certificate, which I can use to go buy a bunch of stuff I don't already have. But I threw the final to get finished second, so I get the. And I told Scott about it afterwards. He's like, dude, if you'd won, you could have picked the second place prize. I'm like, oh, now you tell me.
That would have been the better thing. You could have won and said, you know what? You played so good. I'm going to give you the first place prize. I'll just take $20 gift certificate. That's what I wanted all the time anyway.
Yeah. So, I mean, the $20 gift certificate didn't make it out of the store, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
There you go. Have you
I
guys-
didn't realize you were that close to me.
Yeah.
Gamers Armor is my joint.
I've
That's
only
where I
told
go
you
to.
that how many times?
My memory is jack and shit. What do you want? I'm lucky if I remember what I got up and went to a different room for. All right.
I've known Scott since before he opened the brick and mortar store.
No kidding.
So,
Yeah. I ended up running into him at the WBC, and we hadn't talked a whole lot before that, but I said hey to him there, and he's like, I thought I recognized you. You're Gimpy, right? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, you come in the store all the time, because I was going there to play X-Wing. And that's when I started talking to him. I was like, well, yeah, send me some of the stuff for the store and I'll promote it on my channel. He actually told me the other day that, or actually it wasn't him. It was the blonde kid,
Oh, no.
Andrew.
I know who you're talking about, but I don't remember his name. I know Mike.
Yeah, Andrew. He was behind the counter and he's like, yeah, we had some people came in and they said, hey, doesn't Gimpy shop here? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, damn, I've got a fan. One.
That's awesome.
Get
But, you know,
there.
we did our back in June, we did our opening happy hour for the ACDC live from Gamers Armory, and we're gonna do the one coming up in January when I'm on with Mo for the opening show. We're gonna do that one from Gamers Armory again.
But tell us about the show, because I don't know how many people know about it. Then you might as well plug it. We won't look at you too badly. No, go.
You guys are part of what I'm waiting on to finish the game of schedule Tetris, so I can.
That's all Dev. That's all Dev.
We're
Wow, passing that buck, ain't ya?
We are planning on fulfilling all the time slots that you want us to. It's just we need to get a little bit creative because one of our guys who is going to be the GM is not going to be able to do it. So yeah. We're still working on, but we do plan on fulfilling our obligations.
No, that's fine. So the announcements have been out. We just don't have the registration site open yet because I'm still trying to get the last of the schedule listings in place. But the next Dragoons ACDC is going to be MLK weekend. So the ACDC is the Armchair Dragoons Digital Convention. Don't ask how the letters got arranged, how they did. It's a long story.
Hey, send me do me a favor, messenger me or text me the URL, anything you may have for, and I'll put it on your.
Yeah, I'll send it just a second. But the so it's a virtual convention, so we're all online. So as Mo has said, this is Pajama Con, right? You can do this in your pajamas. The great thing about it is you don't have to make any travel plans. We're going to start Friday afternoon. We're going to run all Friday, Saturday, Sunday. For folks in the U.S., it's a holiday weekend, so you have Monday off to recover.
That's awesome.
But because we're virtual, and so we're going to have folks, you know, a lot of folks from Europe playing as well. We didn't want to cut too much into their Monday because they're not off on Monday. Right now, I think you guys, Lock and Load has 8 or 9 events on their total. We've got Lock and Load Tactical. We got World at War 85. We typically have a bunch of those events with us each one of these weekends. And we're adding some Point Blank events this time around now that Point Blank is out, which would be really cool. We have 5 total online Kriegspiel games coming this weekend. We've got 3 of them being done by the guys at IKS and 2 of them being done by another one of our locals here in the Triangle area by Peter Robbins. So we're going to have a Guadalcanal game. We're going to have one, I think it's a 7 Years War game. And then the guys from IKS that are doing the other 3, they are doing a series of linked games. Devin, is kind of like what you guys did with World at War 85 a convention or 2 ago, where the scenario 2 picks up with where scenario 1 left off. So what happens in the later games will be dependent on what happened earlier, which would be kind of cool. Falling Sky from the Coin series. The designers of Robotech Reconstruction are going to be there with a couple of them. The designers from Song for War, which is going to be it's an upcoming Mediterranean theater game. It looks kind of like Axis and Allies, but it's a little more tactical and a little less production focused, which is kind of cool. Mike, yes, it's Vassal, Virtual Tabletop, Roll20, Tabletopia, all of those. We are going to be using Fantasy Grounds for one of the events this time. We've got one of the GMs who helped roll out the Twilight 2000.
You're going to like this, Kev.
So we're going to have a T2K game as a part of all this. So it'll be the first time we've ever done an RPG at one of the ACDCs.
That'll be fun.
And I'll tell you, so Mo was one of the main dudes driving the train on the talk show side of things. We've got probably the best talk show lineup we've ever had for one of these weekends as well.
Should be fun.
Yeah, you've got the dude from Phalanx talking Purple Haze. We've got Bruce coming back to talk Air and Armor. The designers from both Robotech Reconstruction and Song for War are going to be there. Tim Densham from Catastrophe Games is going to be talking about his new company. And we've got a couple of the usual happy hours and such.
I'm very familiar, the guy with the new company. Why does he sound familiar?
Tim Densham he's Hellcat 6 online. He's the guy that published Zermatt that just finished the Kickstarter. Judean Hammer, USS Laffy. So that's who Tim is. It's not this Friday, Mad Cartographer. It's MLK weekend in January. It's 14, 15, 16 January. And what we've done with the Dragoons, so we've done a bunch of virtual conventions over the last year and a half now. This will be our 5th virtual convention, just war game convention, not counting the RPG when we did or the Connections conferences or anything. But what we're doing going forward is we're going to make MLK weekends our virtual convention every year. So folks can plan on that weekend. We're going to have a virtual convention every year. So Jay, the registration's not open. Just a second. I'm going to stick the link in the chat for Dave to throw up there and let him copy it over. It's a little long there. Sorry, but there it is. So he can post that into the YouTube comments for y'all to grab.
Mo, when are you doing your chat session? Since you're going to be guest, I can stop by since it's so close to my house.
Yeah, so we're doing Friday evening, but Mo, do you remember the time? Are we starting at 6 or 7?
I think it was 6.
Yeah, I think
Well,
it's
at
6.
least for me, it might be 6 my time, 7 your time.
So 7 hour time.
Yeah,
Probably,
hang on.
yeah.
I can tell you just a
He can
second.
pull it up because I don't remember the dates
Yeah.
and times exact. I mean,
Oh,
I know
the-
the dates, not the times.
Yeah. The registration's not open yet because I still had a couple of events to finish putting into the schedule. The guys from Ad Astra are going to be back doing some space dogfighting stuff. Yeah, Mo, I've got us down for 6 p.m. my time, which is 5
Okay, so
p.m.
it's
your
5
time.
o'clock my time. So it's the other way around, 5 and 6.
Yep.
Not 6 and 7.
All right. Yeah,
Yeah.
if you're good with it, Brent, I'll take and shoot by and join you guys.
are
I
you
mean,
gonna
I
remember?
can't stay there the whole time. Yes, I will remember. I'm actually
See,
going to jot down
selective
and not.
memory.
No,
You just got to text him, buddy.
no, dude,
emails
it's
don't work. I know that.
no, it's gotten bad, man. They changed up something to do with my damn seizure meds, and ever since then, my mind's just been blown. I've had a hard time just keeping anything in there. I've got so many notes around my computer just to make sure I don't forget things that I'm trying to do. But yeah, that sounds awesome. I'll definitely swing by and hang out with you guys for a little while if you're cool with it.
Yeah. So Mike is asking how the players get paired up. So once the registration goes live, it's registration just like any other convention where you sign up for a specific event that gives you a specific time for that event, and the GMs will hook people up. That we have GMs that will tend to approach things in 2 different ways that they will approach things. So first of all, it's a multiplayer game that's just beyond 2 players. That's easy, right? Falling Sky is a 4-player coin game. We put 4 people in it and they play the 4 roles. For something like the Lock and Load Tactical World at War that aren't necessarily multiplayer games, in the past, so what Devin and Keith have done is they've put 2 dudes on a team together, kind of making decisions together on that one side or the other. The other thing that folks have done, and I think Stefan did this for one of his Lock and Load Tactical games, is he ran 2 simultaneous tables. So he put players in 2 different vassal games where they were able to watch he was able to bounce between them to keep an eye on what was going on.
Wow.
For the Kriegspiel games, for instance, I mean, we'll have 8 or 10 guys in there, but the Kriegspiel umpires, the referees, I almost said umpery, go figure. But those guys are pretty used to bouncing in and out of all kinds of different Discord channels to help make those go. So
Now, somebody asked, how do you have to know the game? Would it be taught to you? What's the
So we like familiarity with the game because it helps get things up and running faster. But that said, especially the pre-press things, the GMs come in expecting to teach the games. David Thompson's going to be there with Lanzareth Ridge, his newest Valiant Defense game. That one's going to be hitting Kickstarter like the week after the convention. So this will be a chance to play it before it hits Kickstarter.
Dude, I've got a prototype copy of that. You want me to bring with?
You can. I don't know how well we're going to be able to show it on camera is the only challenge. That doesn't
I'll
mean
bring it.
no,
Just
bring it. We just might not be able to show it on camera. It just might be you and me playing with it.
better to have it and not need it.
Oh yeah, totally.
Sure, yeah.
Totally. But yeah, we set up over at Gamers Army. We set up right next to the wall of ASL so we can pan the camera over there and make everybody jealous. We do that quite a bit.
He's one of the only ones in the area that carries any decent selection of war game shit.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Atomic Empire barely has anything. Game Theory has maybe 1 or 2. The old place, Event Horizon. I think. Yeah, they went out of business, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. I spent a lot of money there the last 3 months trying to help keep them afloat, but it just
they didn't have a good location and their
No.
prices weren't that good.
But
And
they
they
were the
weren't good
best
to their
place in the area for used stuff. That was their big thing. They had
Like
a great
Gamers Armory
selection.
with his like loyalty program, and I know I talk up Scott a lot because I always tell people it's great, but it's generally at least 10% off MSRP, and then every 100 you spend, you get the $10 gift card that
Yep.
you get to use there. That adds up quicker than you would think. So I mean, he's great when it comes to prices.
You guys
Scott
need
has
to hook
gotten
up with
a lot
Rich.
of my money over the years.
You guys got to hook up with Rich Whitmer. He lives in your area too. Gamers Armory is his game store.
Yeah.
Rich, he works with GMT, right? He's the one that was putting out a game for them that I
Rich Whitmer.
prototyped. Yeah, I already met him there one time. He needed help prototyping a game. I forget the name of it. It's on the channel, but I ended up meeting up with him there. He gave me a copy of the game, and then I filmed some videos with Gimpy's Gal and put it up for him.
Nice.
Once we get a little further over the hill with the COVID stuff here, I'm really hoping to get some more regular big wargaming days going over at Gamers Armory. We used to have a regular one on the schedule back at the old location, and it kind of fell apart when a couple of the key people left town, and we just never really tried to get it refired after that. So that's I would like to, because there's a lot more of us. Here's the deal. I am firmly convinced that the Raleigh area here has at least as many, if not more, tabletop gamers, not just war gamers, but tabletop gamers as a whole, than Columbus, Ohio. It's just Cabs is way more organized than any other game club on the planet. And so they can actually consistently get 120 people to show up every other week for a big club meeting. We're just not that organized around here. That's our biggest problem.
Everybody's kind of piecemeal off doing their own little thing in small little groups. There's the Simulation Society, you know who I'm talking about? Triangle
the
Simulation
guys.
Society. Yeah.
Yep.
I went and joined them, filmed some of their stuff one time. They're a good group of guys playing a whole bunch of different stuff. But it's like that. They're all off doing their own thing, and especially since COVID happened, everything just died.
But that
all
all
went
that you have that many players. That's really cool.
Yeah, that is good. Yeah. It's a good problem to have.
We've got a really good, consistent playing community around here. It's just all of them are all in their own little cul-de-sacs and don't really come out to the town square very often. So I'm hoping we can get a little more of that community feel going with the folks around here. Maybe 6 months to a year from now.
It's that excuse again, man. There we go.
Yeah, I know. Look. Scott's store is an awesome location to do stuff like that, especially the new one where he's got, a 2/3 of it roughly devoted to game table space. He's got so much space in there. I actually ran a summer camp out of his store one summer for a week.
You were the one running the summer camp?
Yeah, that was me. So
yeah, I saw the kids there all the time, and I talked to them about it.
We had originally set up 2 weeks to do it, and just based on registration, we collapsed it all into 1 week. Which worked out because of some other soccer camp stuff I was supporting another week. And I was going to come back and do it again the next summer when Cisco made me a ridiculous offer to come work for him for 6 months. So this is the part where we're going to pressure Dave a little bit, though. Dave, when are you going to get your crap on the shelves at the store there?
Dude, I've been barking on Dave and Scott on that one for a while.
You know what? I believe, and I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Darren, the other D in my company here, talked to the guy, but nothing came of it. But my plan is to get Darren out of the production with this new printing company we're setting up and have him just work on distributors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I'm not even sure how well the print's going. I'm talking to major people, and they're lucky to be printing 1,000 games. And I can't, unless you're printing, a game every month. I don't see how anyone's going to survive with any real team on there. And everyone knows these games don't design themselves or develop themselves in 24 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's like I told you though before.
Those magazine games are.
They're smaller though. Like some of the other war gamers or war game publishers, their box might have a few paper maps and a couple of counter sheets, and it doesn't feel that heavy. And then if you get like a Heroes of box on the shelf that's 3 inches thick, it's got a lot of heft to it, and it's the same price as this other war game, it's going to catch someone's attention when they've actually got it in their hand.
Yeah.
That's why you really need to get it on the shelf, dude.
Well, like I said, we're going to be looking at that. I'm going to see how the production goes. Everyone's just saying, "Oh, you're jumping board games from computer games." I'll tell you, if I could get away with it, I wouldn't a heartbeat. It is so much easier than the board games, production-wise.
Look, I'll tell you what. You just send me a big selection, and I'll make sure some of it ends up over at Gamers Armory to go up on the shelves.
Be careful, because I may very well do that. I've done that before, actually. So
Look,
Is
trust
it
me,
cheaper?
when Dave needs help shipping, he has no problem asking you to help ship.
that's
This
right.
is coming from the dude that made 2 trips in his car to the local FedEx to get all of his shit shipped
remember
from
that.
Origins
Yeah.
in here.
Are you still doing Origins, Brent, or no?
Yeah, we are. So this past year, again, COVID stuff. October was the primary problem with it all, but also had some folks were complaining about some of the masking and capping on people at tables and such. We had Origins this year, and I'll tell you, it wasn't big. They only used 1.5 of the 3 big exhibit halls they're normally in. But it really felt like Origins, and it was great. It was great to be back in there with all those folks and being able to sit down and actually play games. We had a very limited crew just because we only had so many people available that could take the time to be up there in October. And so there was me, and Gary was there, and Rick Billings was with us, and Bob Fix GM'd some for us. So instead of our usual 60-something war game events, we only had a dozen-ish. But it was a great time, and it was great just to be back in that environment. It was a ton of fun. I'm hoping they can pull off this summer and that shit doesn't go sideways again.
Yeah. I like to go back to where Nate, Mo, what was it?
WBC.
WBC.
Yeah. I'm
No,
hoping
that's
a
that
good
would
one,
be
nice.
down here.
The kids have fun, plenty of space. I mean, that's key for me because I got to take the fam and the kids with, so I got to have a place where they can.
That's actually why
Hang
we
out and do
invite
their own
you.
thing.
Your wife is pleasant, hangs out, talks with us.
Puts up with us.
Evidently, Darren thinks she's a table girl, or what was
Yeah, I
the
think it was. Yeah.
booth babe? Booth babe. Yeah, that's what Darren. Dude, that made her night. She was like walking around with a big head after that one.
So, Mike, I don't think we don't go to PresCon, okay? But I forget the gentleman's name, but there's somebody there that represents us and has our games. I don't know if he's going this year. I don't know what his. Actually, I probably should link up with him and find out how he's doing. But after the new year, we'll see. But nothing stops you from just hopping on a plane and going and play games. Debbie and I talked about that. Actually, we have to make it an official meeting. We'll have to talk over breakfast about something, and then we just play games. What has been the non-war game that you guys have maybe tried this year that I will say it's Battlestar Galactica, and I really enjoy that, and I hate to say this out loud. I know I'm going to get some shocks. I've actually been playing Gloomhaven. I know. I'll take a moment of silence here for that one.
What are these non-war games you speak of?
Gloomhaven is good. There's no
Twilight
hate
Struggle.
on Gloomhaven. I like Gloomhaven. Twilight Struggle I haven't had the opportunity to play.
I haven't played it. I was just making the Twilight Struggle isn't a war game joke.
Yeah, no, I quite like that game, Twilight Struggle. I don't care if it's a war game or not. I think that's pretty enjoyable.
No, I'm telling you, David, you're still missing out. Get Core Space and be done with it.
I have the whole game because of you.
Oh, you did get it?
Blackwell doesn't because that game doesn't have enough to do in it. He told us we'll play it. I bought the whole thing because of your podcast, actually. And he looked at it, tried it a little bit, and said, really wasn't all that great. The other thing we played that's not a war game, which I have to say he was kind of on the money, was the new Aliens. What is it called? Another Glorious
Day in the Core.
I have to say that was pretty much, it was pretty much a scoot and shoot game. There was not much to do but shoot and run or charge and run.
Well, you're
No.
fighting Xenos, so I mean, what did you expect? An in-depth tactical game? I mean, it's literally just running around shooting stuff. That's all. It's like Zombicide almost.
Yeah.
Kung Fu fighting. There you go.
Oh, that's got to be one of the best card games I've ever played. We used to play every year at Origins. We'd spend every night at the bar.
Yep.
Playing that game for hours.
I think Jay has the best non-war game.
Yeah.
Although that actually would be considered a contact sport war game itself. Going to the DMV.
The great thing about there's two great things about Kung Fu Fighting. First of all, the games go so fast that you really don't care if you lost this one because you're going to play 2 more in the next half hour no matter what. They go quick enough that you'll play 9 in one sitting, and you might only win 3 of them, but you had a lot of fun with them. But the other thing is Kung Fu Fighting is one that you can legitimately play competently while significantly inebriated. It is easy enough to pick up that there is no problem playing it after putting a few beverages down.
No, they have a sword fighting one, but it's not as entertaining as the Kung Fu one.
No, yeah. Part of the fun of Kung Fu Fighting, because the whole point is it's martial arts brawling Hong Kong cinema style. So the whole point is to make it feel like the movies, which of course brings out all of the bad movie accents as a part of all of that. So that's part of what makes it so much fun.
Yeah, Captain Darwin's one of his great lines to this day, which "Your Kung Fu is weak, old man." You know that one?
Yep. Your Kung Fu is weak. So, yeah, there's plenty of those.
Nice.
Yeah. You can be in the panda stance, which is great because it gives you a certain kind of defense. This was before the Kung Fu Panda movies too.
See, that's where I would just go right to the crane technique because no can defense.
But you can also in the panda stance, you can eat the bamboo pole to regain some of your strength. It's great.
All right.
So.
Hold up. I'm looking up a name of a game. All right. This Kung Fu one you guys are talking about sounds kind of like one that was just on Kickstarter, Senjutsu. Did any of you guys see that one?
I'm not sure. Now, the Kung Fu Fighting one we're referring to did go up on Kickstarter about 2 years ago for the reprint.
Yeah.
They redid the art with full color art and stuff. It's from Slugfest Games is who designed the one we're talking about.
Right. Yes.
Is it just like 2 people fighting each other? Like you're playing cards?
No. You can play up to like 6 players with this one.
Oh, okay.
It's a big battle royale. The Slugfest guys are the same people that did the Red Dragon Inn series of games, which is
sounds like you need to do a gladiator one like that. Instead of doing the Kung Fu Fighting, do gladiator fighting.
They've got the Kung Fu Fighting one. They have another one called En Garde that is very similar to Kung Fu Fighting. It's musketeer, swordsman, swashbuckling kind of thing. It's not quite as much fun because there's not quite as much attitude built into the cards.
Yeah.
There's a lot more attitude built into the Kung Fu Fighting cards is part of what makes that one so much fun. But the Red Dragon Inn series is a blast also. So if you get a chance to check out any of those.
I haven't played that actually.
Yeah, that's the one. Basically, it's you're the RPG party who just finished looting the dungeon and now you're at the bar. And so it's everything that happens at the bar while you're telling tall tales and buying each other drinks and gambling your loot away and everything else. So
it sounds like you're just wenching and drinking.
Exactly. Unless you're playing games, in which case you're waitering and drinking. So
see, Mo's smiling, Kev's smiling. I can see a game coming on when we get together finally.
That's not going to happen anytime soon. I just don't see it. I was hoping it would happen in 2019. It didn't. 2020, it didn't. 2021, it didn't. Maybe in 22. We'll have to cross our fingers.
Eventually, it's got to hit your way, buddy.
Well, it all depends. I mean, you think about it. WBC is middle of summer. Summer is the big vacation time. It's July 4th and all that stuff. And what always seems to happen around the holidays?
I knock up the wife?
No, aside from that. It always seems to be a new variant, and now we got to lock down or we got to whatever. So nobody travels and it becomes a problem. So
yeah, every time I turn around, she's coming to me. I'm pregnant again. Damn it. I'm done.
We know you can fix that, dude.
It's just too much damn fun. What can I say?
Really, it's a really easy fix.
Nope. No need to
Obviously,
fix it.
you're
Everything's
not
working.
social distancing. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Social distancing. Yeah.
What's that baby? You ever see that onesie for a baby? Says mommy and daddy didn't keep 6 feet away.
Yeah, that'll work. No, and Mo, you didn't get your picture, by the way, but I did wear that damn thing for. It was a little teddy bear on it, and it said,
That
it
just
said
sounded
Papa
way
Bear.
wrong.
No. Remember we were talking about it, the matching
Family
PJ?
show, family show. No.
Yeah.
Did you actually wear those matching PJs, dude?
Yeah, I wore them. It put a smile on her face, so I wore them. I had my little PJs that said Papa Bear on
that's
it.
you're talking about that. Okay, yeah. Who says they didn't
There's
get
a
it?
word that describes that, and I'm not going to say it on the channel.
Yeah. You know, I'm not sure how we took a turn into Mo and Gimpy sharing pajamas, but I'm just not really.
It wasn't me sharing any pajamas. It was him sharing his pajama story about wearing his Papa Bear pajamas.
Mo was the one saying he wanted a seductive picture of me. I mean, that was on him, though.
No.
I don't think it was you he was looking for
No.
the picture
Yeah,
of.
definitely not you. Did you wear a mask for that?
No.
You sure?
Wait, are we talking?
On a
Still
Planet
talking
of the
about
Apes
pajamas?
I hope not.
Wow, now we're getting into way too much information.
Getting. See,
Now he's
guys
talking,
are
about,
off
talking
that
about masks
photographer
for
here.
other things.
Someone asked about a wing and a prayer. I think it's a 2.5 update, which I'm going to post. I just haven't done it yet. Maybe I'll do it after the show. It's a free update. If you already own Wing and a Prayer, it'll Jen, I forget his last name, but he did a phenomenal job just tweaking the rules and updating things. And we're going to make it a free update. So if you have it, you can download the files and it'll be on all the normal places you find things. So it's coming, guys. I am trying my best to keep up here. Devin keeps slowing me down, asking me questions about lock and load, and it's just nonstop.
Blame the fat kid.
You notice Devin's being extremely quiet.
Devin, you've lost a bunch. You've lost a bunch of weight, though, Devin. So that's
I
Well, that was
lost
his
a
jab
lot
at
of.
Dave. He said, blame the fat kid.
Yeah, I know. I heard that. I heard that.
Yeah, I lost over the last 2 years. I went from 290 down to 219, and then
Nice. No shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's
I
not
was
bad,
walking.
bro.
I was walking upwards of 6 miles a day, 6 days a week. Unfortunately, September I stopped that, and as soon as I stopped that, like 2 months later, I put 30 pounds back on. So,
Well, you know what happens when you walk away from it? It keeps, if you stop, it catches back up to you. That's the problem.
yeah, that's the thing. So I'm waiting since I'm up here in Seattle, and I hate the inclement. I love living in Seattle. I just hate being out in the inclement weather, so I don't like doing my walks in the weather. So I'm waiting for April to roll back around so I can start up my walks again, so I can lose this damn weight again. So yeah, it's a vicious cycle. Seems every
love
year I deal with it.
Seattle. You love living in Seattle.
I love living in Seattle because we have seasons up here. I love the greenery and the mountains and all that. Everything else, no. We didn't say anything about how I like the people or the politics. Okay, so
Seattle would be a hard no for me. I would shoot myself before I moved to Seattle.
well, I live about 20 miles outside of Seattle. So
Yeah, you're safe out there. I think
Yeah,
you're-
yeah.
you're
If I
amongst
act-
the normal people.
if I actually say where I'm from, nobody knows where it is. So I just Seattle. Seattle's the closest big city.
I remember you when you and I.
When you say Seattle, you're automatically sliding off the plate there.
Yeah. Whenever you came to the Game On game, didn't you have to go over a mountain pass or something like that?
No. I'm just down the I-5 corridor, but yeah, I know. I do know about the passes. So
Donner Pass.
no, that's not
That's
in Colorado.
California.
Was it California? I thought that was Colorado.
I think Donner Pass
Well, the
is.
Donner
is it-
Pass is at the
is it
Nevada
California?
California state line.
Yeah, I was going to say it's California. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
What
just the
game-
California side of that state line up there.
What games that haven't come out yet are you looking forward to?
Mm.
Chad, we're gonna
Sacred
pick up-
Oil. Sacred Oil. He's going to say Sacred Oil anyway.
Sacred Oil. I'll take Sacred Oil for 1,000, Alex.
I'll take Sacred Oil for $1,000. Yeah. Your Sacred Oil, Pacific War, Herman's Pacific War.
Yep.
Simonich's
Salerno.
Salerno. And then Compass has a whole bunch of games that are desert focused, Tobruk and a couple of others, but I think they're not going to make it in 2022. So, Third World War, Frank Chadwick, super excited about that coming out. That's it.
Enemy Action Kharkov.
Air and Armor.
Yeah, no, I don't
Really?
like it.
You don't like the Enemy Action series?
No, I don't mind it, but I'm just not excited by it.
Love
Great
Enemy
value
Action.
for money. How's
What
that?
about you, Mo?
Well, Sacred Oil, of course, that's coming out real
I'm
soon.
going to ask Dunk, what is Sacred Oil? I haven't even heard of this.
Oh,
It is a holy oil game. No, you have not Thin Red Line games? Under an Iron Sky?
Yeah, okay. So you should just led with Thin.
Deadly Northern Lights.
Okay,
and
okay,
Sacred
okay.
Oil is the finish of the trilogy of the big games.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
and
all
if you
right,
had watched
okay.
Whiskey Charlie, where Kev was hosting while I was out for like an hour, you would have seen. He did a great job hosting.
Once I turned up, I did a good job.
Yeah. So yeah, that one, and then of course Third World War, and then Combat Volume 2. That one's coming out soon. American Tank Ace, Air and Armor, of course. That's gonna definitely be. I think that's gonna be
That
really
looks good.
pretty wicked. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
there's
yeah,
a lot.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one looks really wicked from
Will that
the
happen
initial.
this year? Next year?
Yeah. Oh no, that's gonna happen this year. 22.
22. Okay. Well then, yeah.
It won't happen this year.
Yeah.
We got 2 days.
Yeah, that goes right to the top of my list. Yeah, I'm excited about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that one should be interesting. It's in final testing now, so I'm looking forward to seeing how that ends up. I think it'll be pretty interesting. And Rich Whitmer, A Most Fearful Sacrifice. I am not a big ACW guy, but that one really does look interesting.
Fearful Sacrifice. Why does that sound familiar too?
Gettysburg.
Oh, that's
Herm Lutton. Yeah.
Herman Lutton, the big Gettysburg launch. Yeah.
Yeah, it was on Kickstarter a couple months back.
Yep. And then there's this Blood and Fury thing I keep hearing about.
Yeah. So
Flash in the pan.
and
So
Bitter Harvest,
looking forward to that too, because
If
it's
Bitter
World War
Harvest
III.
actually ships in 2022, as soon as
Bitter
it hits-
Harvest, yes, another one.
As soon as it hits my desk, I will promise you I'll play it
Okay.
straight away. I'll clear. I'll just swipe everything off the table. It'll be
I want
first
to
game.
know.
Kev, you're doing some Heroes Against the Red Star action right now, aren't you?
Yeah, that was a play that I hadn't posted yet, but yeah.
Hey, Kev, how did
Nice.
you like the new map designs compared to the old ones that came in the original game? Have
The
you-
4Ks.
I like them. I don't know. Like I wouldn't. If you're going to use that style going forward, I think that's great.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't run out and like buy them all to swap them all out if that's what you're asking. But
I just want to know what you know, but
yeah, I like them. I think they're more detailed, and I like the artwork on them. They're great. Yeah.
Yeah, Vietnam 6575 is another one too, obviously.
yeah, I pre-ordered that one. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
All right, what do you
Who's
think?
going to play that? Who's going to play it?
Oh, I played the original, man. That game is very playable. At least it was. I don't know what the new model is going to. But I thought the old one was playable. I had no problem playing it, and I liked the way.
The campaign or just a scenario or two?
No, I played the whole campaign more than once actually.
Really?
sucked.
You really had no life.
Yeah.
I was in high school.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's interesting. I watched them play test the Tet offensive 3 days. It's only a 3-turn scenario, I believe.
They're
took them
halfway through
3
turn
days to
one.
get a turn and a half done.
Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Are they actually skilled players or just somebody who sat down to play? I mean,
Well, they're play testing and checking rules and doing stuff. So no, they knew what they're doing. It was like Ralph and whoever, another guy.
Mitch.
No, it wasn't Mitch. It was somebody
Mitch
else.
wasn't doing it?
I know the guy's name. I know his tag. I can't remember what his actual name is, but
And we
Well,
played-
there's another one that I forgot to mention too that Kev will be familiar with. Red Strike.
oh
That's
yeah.
another one from VUCA. So
I'm hoping Red Strike actually makes it out in 2022.
Yeah,
it will. It
I
will.
think it'd be good.
It'll be later than originally planned because originally it was supposed to be like March. I think it's going to be more like summertime. at this stage right now. So,
What are you excited about, Brian?
Air and Armor and the upcoming Third World War, the Vietnam 65-75. It's a little weird. Like a lot of the ones I'm interested in are the updates to older things that I played growing up. But I am looking forward to Red Strike. I'm curious to see. I think Red Strike. What I'm interested to see is how playable it actually turns out to be.
Right.
It
What is
looks
Red
like
Strike
it's
exactly?
it looks like Red Strike is it's the new one coming from VUCA Sims that uses the Gulf Strike system for Cold War Goes Hot in Europe in the 80s.
Oh, nice.
So it's the Mark Herman system tweaked. They sent us a copy of the rules to have a look at. It's pretty.
You can pull the rules down from their website.
yeah, now they got the rules up online.
Yeah. Is it? Okay. Cool. All right.
Yeah,
I tried the
they've got it
original
available
Gulf
there.
And that was a very hard game to play, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Gulf Strike.
The
Yeah.
original Gulf Strike.
It was challenging. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to sound a little weird. It's tough for me to say, hey, I'm necessarily looking forward to one specific something, because one of the things that I get a lot of fun out of is either finding the smaller publishers or stumbling across stuff at conventions or whatever that's, holy crap, what the hell is this and where did this come from? And so it's tough to say you're looking forward. I'm looking forward to discovering the thing nobody else has heard of. You know, this past year at Origins, it was the guys from Song for War.
I used this game years ago. I saw Origins called Warfighting, and years ago.
Yeah, a bunch of jackwagons had no clue what the fuck they were doing there. Just by way of clarification, because folks aren't going to get the joke with Dave and I going back so far. In 2005, when I still had Bayonet Games going, I had a tabletop war game that was the Warfighter series that I was self-publishing. And so for 3 Origins in a row, I was there as a vendor selling my own war games. This is not the one that Dan Verson does with the card games and such. It predates that by 4 or 5 years. And so we made a go of it. What I learned is that I'm really bad at being a businessman. And so I enjoyed the lessons I learned, but I'm not very good at it. So now I run a website instead where, I can screw up and I can fix them a lot easier. So I didn't just think $1,200 into a printing press run, So
go with David's technique. Just keep talking until they eventually give up and buy something, so they'll shut up and go away.
That totally worked while we were at the convention. The problem was everything that happened when you weren't at the convention that kind of went sideways on me. But yeah, I mean, that's it. What I'm looking forward to is discovering something nobody knows anything about, and this year at Origins, those dudes from Song for War, like we had a whole bunch of war game stuff going on at Origins, and these dudes were just sitting off somewhere. Hey, come check out our pre-press copy of this game. We're like, holy shit, this is cool. And nobody knew who they were, what they were about. We've gotten to know them a bit since then, and they're going to be at the ACDC and hoping to get their stuff on Kickstarter sometime soon. But again, it's stumbling across stuff like that that's really a lot of fun.
No, because you're right. Because those small mom and pop family companies, they're the ones that are going to bring something innovative and new to the industry. Yeah. And I ran into a company like that earlier this past year, or this year rather, for Sage Games, the ones that did Age of Dogfights. You know which one I'm talking about?
Yep.
And
we had that in our program at Origins.
Yeah, their biggest release prior to that was Tank Chess, and it wasn't a very big game. It was a cool game, but Age of Dogfights really took it to a new level, and I was more than happy to promote those guys because they were really putting their heart and soul into the game, and you could tell. And they learned from the mistakes they made with the first version and made all the improvements with the Age of Dogfights World War II that they just kickstarted.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Dave, I don't know how much that necessarily answered your question, but that's kind of some of the stuff that we can share today.
All right, Dev, what are you looking forward to?
You're going to actually let me enjoy something other than Lock and Load Tactical this year?
I didn't say that. I just asked you what you're looking for.
World of War 85.
Yeah, and point blank. I'm the OG. I like the old school games. I don't really look forward to much of the new stuff that comes out, mainly because I don't keep my pulse on the new stuff. So I always go back to the older stuff. Someone sent me a couple of the Fleet games, so I'm looking to digging into those. honestly, probably the only thing I'm really kind of looking forward to is Stellaris from Academy Games.
Academy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have that on.
Really looking forward to that one. Because I've got like 2,500 hours in the Stellaris computer game, so I'm kind of.
I gotta
junkie
say,
for
I'm
Stellaris.
surprised there's nobody being a smartass in the chat and saying they were looking forward to Trial of Strength.
I answered the
That
question.
was already asked earlier. You missed it.
Yeah, I
Did they? Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't been watching the chat.
Okay,
You know,
so
what's that?
your turn. What are you looking forward to?
Well, I mean, you're asking me last. They've named everything. I mean,
Okay.
Sacred Oil is the big one. Definitely, I think of that as like the War Gamers War Game. They really put out some excellent stuff. I loved 1985 Under an Iron Sky. Really thought that was excellent. All the stuff that Mo and Kev were talking about from Compass Games, the Suicon. Am I saying that right? Sensuicon. Yeah. American Tank Ace, something German boat, snail boats. Yep, that's what I keep Mo
Not
around.
snail
My
boats.
memory.
Schnell boot. Schnell boat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
snail boat.
Schnell
Yeah,
and
pretty much.
snail are opposites. Right.
Yes.
Everything Compass has been coming out with recently. I mean, they just been hitting the ground running and loving that. But I will mention one thing that no one else has mentioned, and you were wrong about, because there's a whole lot to do in that game. Is the Core Space, their newest version of it, is coming out, and they're actually going to be shipping that Kickstarter somewhere in January, February time
I
frame.
haven't tried it yet. Blackwell said that, so I'm blaming Blackwell, but we were going to give it a shot.
Look, you can play that game solitaire and do anything. You can play it cooperatively, competitively. You can do one-offs. You can do campaigns. You can come up with your own thing. You can play it like a tabletop role-playing game. You can play it like a tactical skirmish game. There's so many different ways to play it. Plus, the terrain is just cooler than hell on how it all clips together and really rises up on your table and looks really cool. I'm actually using some of their terrain because I'm going to do a bolt action series, and I got their village set that I'm going to put up on the table as like an old Japanese village, have the Marines invading the village against the Japanese, and their stuff just looks excellent. I love Core Space. I think it's excellent. I don't know what the hell Blackwell's talking about. He needs to pull his head out of his butt.
What's
We've had that conversation.
Blackwell.
the game called again?
Look, I know I talk him up a lot, but I love it. And I'll mention this before someone tries to accuse me of it. They've never sent me a thing. I bought everything I have of it. So
Did you get it in the
can't be
mail?
accused of me. Get what in the mail?
Did you get it in the mail? Did you get it? Did you receive the game stuff in the mail? Or did you pick it up at a store?
Oh no, I had to order it. There's nowhere
So
around
you
here
did.
locally.
So they sent you something then.
Yes, I was wondering where the hell you were going with it.
I looked at this the last time you going crazy about this. And I started looking. I was like,
Yeah.
get out of here! It's like the core set's like $199 bucks, and then you got to paint all this crap.
No,
you got to build everything, and then there's other bits you got to buy. I was like,
It's cool. It's cool.
No.
Yeah,
the
cool.
core
Yeah.
set is $100. The core set is $100.
Okay, sorry, $100, which really lets you get like 4 guys and a dog, and then you've got to go buy everything else.
No dog.
No dog.
No,
Yeah.
no dog. Robots.
That was
Space
a
robots.
Kickstarter extra. the exclusive. See, now another one I did not mention, which I did on our show, was Global War 85 from Historical Board Gaming. That looks really cool too. It looks like the Axis and Allies on mega steroids for an 85 World War. It's a huge table hog, and it just looks really, really cool.
You know what? New England Simulations might release that ELAL game next year. So that would be up top of my list as well.
Yeah, their stuff's always good.
All right, we got 2 quick questions. Let me see. Yes, I missed your question the first time. I'm sorry about that. I have no idea. How's that for an answer? It depends. Programmers are a little light at the moment for us, so I can't really say we want to do it, but I don't know if it's going to happen. I do think, Devin, we have a tabletop simulator version and a Vassal version being worked on.
Yep, the tabletop simulator version has already been done. Uwe finished that month and a half ago, and Mike Seeley is currently working on the Vassal and should be ready, I would say, by the time Point Blank ships, but that may be 6 months away with the shipping from China. So yeah, hopefully that one will probably. Mike, you're in the channel. Mike's in the channel. He can answer that question a lot better than I can. But yeah, he's working on the Vassal mod for it. So yeah, it is already on Tabletop Simulator. If you want to go on Tabletop Simulator, you can either do a word search for it or what's Uwe's handle on there? Richthofen 56.
Rich Tofen.
Rich Tofen.
Or if you're German, Herr Richthofen, 56. But yeah, Uwe has done almost all of our games in TTS and just has done an outstanding, fabulous job for it. We've brought Mike in. Mike has replaced Trent as our Vassal, and Mike has already been doing some fantastic stuff with the World of War Vassal modules. He's planning on expanding on bringing a lot of the administrative marker, how he does the administrative markers in World of War for the Lock and Load series. And like I said, he is working on the Vassal module for Point Blank.
All right, here's an interesting one. Okay, I saw Kev. You were asking about this the other day, right? About reprinting Normandy.
Me?
Yeah, it's always you, buddy.
No, I was answering someone else's question. Someone asked the question.
Okay, the question was, why are we going to change the thing? The game art and everything in that game is at least 20 years old. At this point, it's 20 years old, believe it or not, from the Matrix release of it that I did. And we have found that game, even though it's sold out now, okay, took the longest out of the group of games to sell out when we reprinted everything. So either we're not going to reprint it, or we're going to reprint it and update it. So it has a little bit more cool things to it. Like, what do I mean by that? We're thinking of adding some new Canadian units and from French resistance units, some more scenarios, but it's not something that we're doing tomorrow, not even the day after tomorrow. Okay, so it's a matter of bandwidth, and it's not a definite change. We're not even sure we're going to change it. It's just that's where we're at, and that's why I think Stefan said, ask David.
So next week?
Next week, yeah.
Next year.
But are you going to
Literally?
Are you going to do? Will that include the Normandy module? Is the biggest module once you look at all the expansions that go with it, right? Mm-hmm. So it's more than a 3-inch box. It's my box is overflowing with counters, and it's not even all punch yet. And I don't even play Normandy that much, but every time I do, I find another really, really cool scenario, and I just think it's critical to have core systems available so that you can sell all the other modules. I look at it from that perspective, number one. And number two, redoing the artwork, no one gave any attention to the Anzacs in Forgotten Heroes. You guys printed those.
That's why they're called Forgotten Heroes.
Yeah, but I mean, you guys printed those. You didn't print. You just redid those. They were Scooby's.
But remember, I only owned the company for a few weeks at best. When that was
dude. Okay, let's put on the program, boy. Let's go.
And I'm going to say that when I did bring the conversation up to a certain person, okay, it was basically told it was good enough. And at the time, since I was still trying to get my hand gripped on everything, I didn't debate it. But if I had a reprint, if I went to reprint, let's just say Heroes of the Nam and the Aussies, I would redo all the artwork on that too.
Actually, I would actually buy that because the counter art sucks on that.
I agree.
So,
the counter art isn't that bad. I mean,
it's pretty bad.
Counter art, Scooby's counter art on those counters is terrible.
It was done by a guy in Brazil who refused to ever work on the game after that ever again. I don't know why. It was too much work, not enough money, personalities. I
think Multi-Man got him locked up.
No. That's
a different guy.
A Scooby.
That's a Scooby, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a Scooby. Yeah, he's not the guy in Brazil.
No, that's not the guy in Brazil. No, he's in Spain or Portugal.
Spain.
Yeah.
He's in Spain.
Oh, that Spanish dude. Oh, I remember.
I talked to him all the time, and him and I had our sons like a week apart. So we've always chatted since that.
Okay, well, that's cool. Well, whoever did the artwork, it's
Scooby's in Spain,
He's the guy that was doing a ton of different art for folks, but Multiman locked him up right before they got the Panzer Grenadier stuff cranking up. I don't know that it was because of Panzer Grenadier, but it was around that same time that they kind of locked him up to some exclusivity. And the thing that really messed with a lot of people's heads is word got out that Multiman had locked this guy down, but then all of a sudden the Warstorm series games are showing up with his artwork and they weren't coming out through Multiman. They're like, what the hell? But that's because people weren't paying attention to the fact that he designed those games in addition to being the graphics guy on them. So he was a co-designer on the Warstorm series.
Yeah.
And so it was weird because everybody's saying, well, you know, he's exclusive to MMP. How is he doing this other thing? Well, he owns that damn company, you know. So
I think from what I understand, he's not allowed to do other tactical games, but he's allowed to do
whatever there were
that's
some
what the Warstorm series is.
Yeah, there were some restrictions, but basically the Warstorm series was kind of carved out from those restrictions because he owned the company.
It's his,
you know,
yeah.
And he was the design. Now the Warstorm series is now available from a different publisher. They basically farmed out all the production to somebody else.
Right.
I think it's Draco Ideas is handling it now.
Yeah.
But they he had originally done the original art, and I think Compass was publishing the Warstorm series at one point.
He did one of them.
Yeah, they did
the last two, I think.
Yeah,
As to Hell or whatever it was.
Yeah, the Warstorm series has bounced through several different publishers. Right now, Draco Ideas has it. A Scooby does good artwork. It's very clearly his specific style. I mean, there's not a lot of question that it's his. Either you like it or you don't.
Like I think he did some of the TCS games, and they look great. But I just really not a big fan of the Anzac Attack ones, particularly when they're sitting on the map next to the other.
He did Normandy because that's him and I became friends. Was on doing what was it called?
That was the original Band of Heroes. Yeah. So that was the first lock and load game I ever got. That was back when you were still running Matrix.
Right. And then the only one before that was Forgotten Heroes and Anzac Attack. And when we redid the games, like I said, that was already in the production pool, so I would have to stop everything and redo everything. And at the time, I did not want to take that on. But outside of that, that's pretty much the reason why. And the other game I would redo the artwork to, some of it was redone too, was Day of Heroes. I mean, look at some of the counters on that. I mean, it could be improved. I mean, I know the U.S. Special Forces counter, I think Jeff Lewis got it redrawn because it drove him crazy from the original game.
Yeah, but you know, Nick's art definitely has a very unique style, and you can kind of tell. So
yeah. I mean, it sticks out. It's a great. I love his artwork. I have to say.
Well, Kev does have a point though that it's not like you're going to be selling Heroes of Bastogne if there's no like Heroes of Normandy to sell with it.
Well, I agree, and that's why we took. If you look at what we did when we made all of our 3-inch boxes, we took all the expansions and we put them all in them. Gave all the extra pieces that were all over the place. Normandy, the expansions that now causing that problem is because we made expansions to Normandy after we printed all those games.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay? And so I don't know what we're going to do, and honestly, I haven't
upgrade
thought
kit
about it, but. No.
Upgrade kit. You have a separate 3-inch box for all the
We
expansions.
talked about upgrade kit for that, where we put all the counters in the game,
all the counters,
and the new scenarios. We talked about that too. There's too much on our plate,
right?
And there's not, and we don't have.
Well, don't redo the artwork. I mean, don't, and then you could do a run, and then you don't have to create anything new. Just do a run, and then
the problem is the run would be so small, based on how it's been trickling the sales. I don't see the value of it.
Marketing. You need marketing. You need to.
Other than getting a pole dancer in here. Okay, I don't know what else.
Look, I'm not saying the pole dancer would help, but it certainly wouldn't hurt.
It depends who's on the pole. That's one.
Yeah, I was going to say, it depends on the pole dancer. We do not need to see Blackwell on the pole.
Well,
What are we
I
gonna
was-
What are we gonna do? Have a Heroes of the Bada Bing? I mean, jeez.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to imagine Devin wearing a hat and a thong on a pole, and that's kind of
Oh
scary.
God, I just got a
Speedo.
little image, man.
Speedo, not a thong, a speedo.
That's
Oh,
right.
Speedo, even better.
singlet.
You can borrow mine. You can borrow my Speedo.
That is the lock and
Oh
load.
boy.
That's the lock and load calendar. That's different.
Yeah.
Thought you're trying to stay
Hey,
in
if,
business.
if it'll make more sales, I'll get up on a pole. I don't care.
Dave, I thought you were trying to stay
We
in
care.
business.
No, we can't. Oh.
Yeah,
Uh,
we'll pay you not to.
Hey, whatever
But
works.
I will say this: we have gotten more lock and load games sold than ever before, thanks to the starter kit and the new rules. I mean, that really made a difference for
Yep.
people being able to get in the system. The problem is, there's that game, Heroes of Normandy, has been reprinted. I mean, when I sold the game to the original designer to make lock and load, I own Matrix. I own the rights to that. I gave it back to him. Okay, that's been reprinted. I don't know. It's got to be at least 5 times, maybe even 6 times at this point. So it's the game with the most copies out there because of all the reprints over time, and that's including the Band and Brothers, of course, in there. So Heroes of the Pacific doesn't have that many copies out there. Heroes of North Africa doesn't, and it sells a hell of a lot faster. I think a lot of people already have Normandy, and a lot of the new guys jumping in, they are the ones kind of having a problem getting Normandy, but they also have so many more games to pick from. They got Africa and they got Falklands, and so it's not as painful, let's say, back in the day when all you had was Denham and Normandy, and that was it.
Well, that was my problem when I first got into wargaming. I wanted to buy Heroes of Normandy, and this is right about the time I think you were buying the company, because this was like 6, 7, 8 years ago, whatever. And I could not find a copy of it anywhere. I ended up buying some other war games to get started in the hobby, but there were no Heroes of Normandy to find. And then it was right after that we got to know each other, and you're like, "Oh, here, I'll just send you one." I'm like, "Well, shit, that worked."
I
This is great.
didn't send you one. We exchanged heavy cash. No.
Yeah. I'll tell you what you need to print instead of Heroes of Normandy is Heroes of Space Infantry, or whatever the hell you're going to call it, because I want the lock and load tactical version of Space Infantry.
That's a
I
great
tell
idea.
you, the 2 things that we're having the most fun with, at least Devin and I. Well, I will say this: I think the thing that we've released that the public can see that I really enjoy playing with are the penetration rules, the non-Cav edition. But the penetration rules, I do like the way that kind of breaks up the tank battle a little bit more. It's not just hit, penetrate, and destroy. I do enjoy that. But I like the zombie rules that Dev and I have worked on, and the space infantry. The zombie is a little bit more towards me, and the space infantry is a little bit more towards Dev. But we've both been working on it, and I'm interested to see what the people think of it. But he's got some really cool rules on that.
Well, yeah, listen to Dev. He knows what he's talking about. Produce that.
Space infantry sold. Next, give me some.
Yeah.
And now
Seriously.
we have to get Heroes of the Bada Bing up, which will be Gangster War.
Heroes of the Bada Bing, Heroes of Fallujah. When's that going to happen?
Fallujah's not even on the table right now.
It's
Oh,
not.
no, I take that back. There is somebody working on it.
Yeah, no, Ethan is working on Heroes of Fallujah right now.
I take that back. Sorry, Ethan.
But like with everything else, our production is just
COVID. It's COVID.
yeah, it's COVID. Well, and the China situation. I mean, because literally naming the stuff that we're working on for Lock and Load Tactical, Bitter Harvest. We've got Gina's North Africa 2, Heroes of the Deep Desert. My Pegasus Bridge, which is the next one I'm going to be working on. Neil Batacamp is working on Operation Overlord. Ethan is working on Fallujah. I've talked to Kai. He's going to be working on Panama. What else is there? We've got the Space Infantry. We've got the zombies. That's Ralph's Granada. Right. That hopefully will be out this year as well. That's at least 11 tactical titles right there. And
don't have Vance working on anything.
No.
He's retired now, man. He's got all kinds of time.
Look.
You talk to David about that one. That's
No, let me interject here. Dev, you guys make Heroes of Fallujah. You better have my counter in there, because that's where I was fighting.
Yes, we'll get you in there most definitely.
With
I call
with or
dibs.
without a beard, you want to be one of them Taliban guys.
Yeah.
No.
No,
I
we're
mean,
gonna have to
one of them
make
movies.
a special.
Honestly,
striker
Kev,
counter
they
just
could
for
do
him.
both. They
Dude.
could do them with the beard on the one side and without the beard on the other side.
Yeah, he could be like a trader counter. He could be like a double agent. You flip it over, beard, no beard. You know,
He can be like the guy from Homeland.
Well,
Yeah.
the zombie game has a Rittenhouse counter.
What?
We're calling him Bittenhouse though.
Rittenhouse.
I think that's what we're going with for.
Dave, when you get around to redoing the West Front, when I got a counter, I need to send you though.
Okay.
So, yeah, I had talked to you about it years and years ago, and it kind of fell off the map just with everything else going on. But my grandmother's little brother, we were trying to get on a counter for one of the West Front games. So
Okay.
he was a tank commander, or he was a tank platoon leader in Italy in the 40s, and he ended up he posthumously was awarded a Silver Star. He was holding a bridge while a bunch of people were retreating back over it, and the Germans shot the bridge out from under him. But at one point, he actually had a building named after him on Fort Knox, and it was one of the ones that got torn down for when they built the new buildings for Master Gunner Branch. I say new, right? New back in the 90s when I was there, but yeah, we had talked about it years ago, and then it just kind of fell apart while everybody was doing other stuff. So one of these days, I need to dig up one of my grandmother's photos and send it to you.
Well, I think we have Mark Van Marshall's. I think it's his great uncle, his uncle. He was in the Battle of the Bulge, and he actually got copied. I may be telling this a little bit wrong, but I think Mark Van Marshall's uncle got caught on the eastern. No, he got caught on the Eastern Front.
Yeah.
Well, and then he escaped, and then fought in the Battle of the Bulge.
Oh wow.
Pretty much,
Crazy.
yeah. And then he got captured there again. So.
Yeah. So don't hang out with that guy.
Yeah, there'll be silicone minis.
Yeah.
Silicone, yes. That's good.
We'll provide him his STV files so you can download them and print them out yourself.
There you go.
Yeah, but could you really call them minis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dave's going to have to completely rewrite the penetration rules for that one.
But they will be.
Whoa.
But they will be HO scale. That's for sure.
Wow.
Oh.
No.
Quickly went off the deep end on this one.
Hey, to be fair though, we gotta give Devin props. He could be called a mini. You've done a lot of work this year. I gotta give you props. That's hard work. That's good job.
I appreciate it. Thank
Yeah,
you.
if you guys haven't seen Devin's official full game is out on digital already. It's Hills of the Bitter Harvest, and he's finishing up pretty much done, I guess. Enemy at the Gate, which is the add-on to Bitter Harvest, which both will be available for the board game release on the Kickstarter.
Nice.
And,
Okay, so by digital you mean like the Steam version, right?
yes.
Yep.
And people keep saying, "Well, why do you keep releasing on Steam?" Because I don't have to freaking print anything in China. How's that thing?
Because it's a lot easier to do it via computer.
Yeah, and you know what? If we make a mistake, I just type some code and boom, it fixes it. I can't.
Yeah.
do
Hey,
that.
do me a favor. Send me the Steam code for that so I can do a little preview of it before
You
the
should
Kickstarter.
automatically have it automatically. but
Yeah, if you've got the
you've got
developers
you've got
version,
a
right?
developer's key.
I've got like a master key for it, so
Yeah.
it should already be.
Yeah,
You can play, if it's up there already, and I think it is. The zombie and the space infantry should be floating around on there too.
Oh shit! Hey, I gotta go.
What? There's zombie
I'm
ones in there
walking
too.
off.
Now I gotta go check.
Well,
Now
no,
I
those
gotta-
they're not in playable format yet, but they are. But I believe they are listed. You'll see them grayed out if you've got the and
Yeah,
you are
and
an
Kev, you should be
associate of
able
the
to see it,
company.
and Mo should be able to. I think
Yeah,
you're
I mean,
right.
all you guys that have got the developer's key, which is the same key that David and I run off of, anything that Tom does is right there. I mean, that's how I've been able to do most of my play testing for a lot of the stuff that I've done this year. It's just so much easier for me to go into digital, and since Tom is able to enter everything in, fine. I don't have to worry about doing tabletop. I just do it through the digital. Sometimes I'll just sit back and let the AI do it. The AI is not the smartest sometimes. Sometimes it surprises me.
It's nice
Other
to
times,
give you the stats, though. Don't forget, at the end of the battle, it gives you all the dice
yep,
roll
gives you all
stats.
the dice rolls
Yeah.
and everything. And then sometimes I'll just, I'll play against myself. I'll play against the computer. I'll let the computer run. It's a great tool for play testing. It really
Wait, does that mean we can edit too? So I can go back and like rename all the counters?
Not yet. It's funny. I
Yeah,
talked
that's
to,
coming.
yeah, I talked to Tom today. Devin doesn't even know this. And him and Mark have got most of the Normandy graphics are just about ready, so they can start making their own maps. And then the object of this thing is to not only make your own maps, but if you have an artistic flair in you, you can make new terrain.
You said artistic, right?
Yeah, that's what I meant. You can make new terrain. Like, I mean, I'm sure you guys know ASL is all, terrain that I don't even know exists in some of the ASL maps. Well, you can actually make that terrain and then design its, what would you call it? Not features, but its modifiers. If if it's true for
How much it costs to move into, if it's
Right.
degrading, if it's obscuring.
and put all that into the thing and make your own map. That's exactly what Tom and I were working on today in discussions forums, and he should be able relatively shortly to show us a map he's made from scratch and how fast he's taking.
I have a great idea for new terrain. A garage to drive all the motorcycles into and a stable for the horses.
Perfect. You should get that. You need that. But not only if you have 4 motorcycles, though, you can actually rubble that building.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got to have that. Yeah.
It was there. I had to do it.
Hit the low hanging fruit. Yeah,
Of course.
So there's a map editor designed, and so we're looking at that. Someone asked about Nations at War.
World War 85 digital.
Okay, Nations at War and World War 85 are going to be the same programmer. I'm not going to say who I talked to today about this, but to have him basically put that all together for us. But it's someone I really trust, and if he does able to do it, I guarantee everyone will be thrilled. Okay, we've had 2 other programmers. We looked at it. I'm just going to say it didn't work out. I'm not going to say they were going to do a bad job or there was a great job. It didn't click. I say so.
Yeah.
And so as far as new games in the series, once I'm sure of the printing situation, Sean and I will talk. Poor Sean's got COVID now, I believe. I heard that yesterday.
Hmm.
And he's been
yeah. I was talking to him about it today. Yeah, it's kind of laid him out.
Is it vaccinated?
He's been vaccinated and got the booster. So
that's awesome, man. 3 shots and you still get it and you're still laid out. That's a great shot. I'm loving that.
he said it wasn't horrible. It's like a bad cold, so it's not like he's dying or anything. Just to be
Omicron.
And I just got an email from Steve that the World War 85 naval game. He just uploaded new updates for you to look at. Bev.
Nice.
Yep, I saw that happened earlier this afternoon. I saw
Really?
that. Yep.
I just got that now. This second. He just emailed me literally.
So is there a digital version of that yet?
Actually,
What is that?
we had a meeting with the program about
We talked about that today.
Well, I'm not just
actually.
talking about Steam. I'm talking about like Tabletop Simulator. Or
Oh yeah, no. Yeah.
that. All that stuff. That's all being done by, let's just say, our team internally.
Yeah.
With Mike and me and Uwe. So that should definitely not be a problem.
Pretty much you can guarantee that any title that we do going forward is going to have a Vassal and TTS component to go along with it.
Mhm.
That's this kind of a business practice that we're going to have going forward for all of our mainline games, not stuff like the stuff that we put out with War Diary. Although I'd love to be able to have that, but just constraints. But yes, the North Atlantic game will have a TTS and a Vassal. Pretty much, like I said, everything we're doing going forward, and a lot of our full line box sets that we've done already, Mike and Uwe have got their marching orders and been doing a very good job with it.
So what's the next War Diary game?
It was supposed to be.
I have no idea. How's that for an answer?
It was supposed to be the one after Princeton. What? Concord? Was it Concord?
I know
It was
Roy.
after Lexington.
Roy is working
Are
on
you
that.
talking about the order in which they were fought?
No. There was
Oh.
we just released the Princeton through War Diary,
Mhm.
and then Concord, but we had some problem with the counters, and we're working on getting the counter sheets reprinted up, and that should be. I don't remember the exact title of it, but I think that's the next War Diary.
What was
I
the
know-
issue with
I
the
know
counters?
Roy's also got our Valley of Hell game. I don't know who's working on that, but I do know he's got those files
For the Laos invasion.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
It's just a couple of counters got we're
the whole
not
scene is screwed.
it's
Somebody somewhere didn't catch something and it was wrong. That's all.
Wow.
And crap
Oh.
like that happens.
and it's not like we can really go forward with it. We do have to have the entire counter sheet
The whole counter sheet.
reprinted.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I will say it wasn't Blackwell.
this time.
This time.
Wow.
Just this time.
Just this time.
He gets one pass, and this is it.
No, he's already had his one pass.
Well, I know, yeah, that too. but-
Yeah.
Okay, guys, anyone's got any other questions? You guys have anything you want to promote? The Kevin Sharp Show, when is the next one coming out for that, Kev?
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, all right.
Tomorrow night, 9:00 Central, I think it is. I don't know.
Yeah,
sometime.
9 Central.
Yeah, thanks.
Are you allowing Mo on the show this time? No.
I'm gonna roll solo because I'm gonna run through 2021 gameplays and top. I couldn't really get to a top 10, so it's a top few, and talk about some of
Yeah, I
the.
like that. You should coin that, Kev. I like that. A top few. You should coin that.
The top whatever.
The top whatever, yeah. But we'll do that. That's it.
Nice.
Okay, Brent, you got the convention, which we posted up there. Nate, what about you, buddy? When's your next show? I saw your thing. Was it Christmas? I don't think you released it in Christmas, but you filmed it on Christmas. Because I was watching it yesterday.
I've released a couple things. I had some stuff scheduled. Are you talking about the Dark War Rebooted? Because that's the one I had scheduled.
I watched that. And I can honestly
Yeah.
say I did not like that particular game, but that one you confirmed for me.
Mo and Kevin guest starred in that, but they didn't know about it until after the.
Kev hasn't
video
you haven't
game.
watched it yet, have you, Kev?
Yeah.
Or should
I
I
don't want to
say?
know what Nate's face swap
Well, I
was on.
started. You know what? I started watching it, and then I got distracted by the comments because who was commenting and all that sort of fun stuff, and so I was like, okay, let's see what's going on, and then the phone rang. So
I'm doing something similar to what Kev's doing. I actually got nagged on some of my previous top videos because most of them were World War II videos. So I'm actually doing a top 5 pre-World War II games that I'm going to have up later this week. Stuff,
Nice.
anything from like Ancients all the way up to World War I will be in the category.
Nice. all
Nice.
right. Someone asked about a World War I game for Lock and Load Tactical. There's
Heroes of the Trenches.
There's a line there, but it's got a lot of lines through it sometimes. So you might say it. I personally don't think it fits, but we'll see.
Heroes of
Let's
Belarus.
Are we
say-
sure that person wasn't volunteering to do it for you?
If he was, then it's on the list. Then we put it. If someone volunteers, as in all good volunteers, it gets put on the list.
Let's just say if I were to do it, it will have to be after Pegasus Bridge, after Stalingrad, after the Jump Boots module, after the Syrian Civil War. I've got a few items on my plate.
We'll get it done.
So
Working on
Thursday.
You stop wearing a silly hat. And do
Yeah.
some more work.
I like my hat. This is a great hat. Keeps the rain off my head
If you're in Seattle,
continually. You don't move up here because it rains all the time. Nothing but rain.
Yeah.
And right now,
Lately
snow.
it snowed.
I forgot that. Hey, Nate, look at that count on the top. Well, I guess it's the right of your screen. There you
Yep.
go.
Yep.
There's a really great picture of Nate in desert camouflage. And when you look at his shades, you can see the oil wells burning in the background. Remember that one, Nate?
Yep.
Yeah.
That one's actually the framed version you sent me. It's actually up on my my shelf.
Nice.
Yeah, I got asked by some people. They're like, "What the hell is that?" And I'm like, "That's me as a game piece." Nice little conversation starter.
That is a great conversation starter. That's awesome.
And there's the other smiling buddy down there.
There you go.
Actually, he's a German also. Is he a German in
He's a
Yeah.
German also.
Yeah, I am.
You get around.
Sergeant Fitz.
I'm all over the place.
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, buddy?
They're saying hi. All right, give me a hug. Love you, bud. All right.
He got big, buddy.
Weird. Yeah, he's 7 now. He's big.
Wow.
He's got his own computer and playing games and doing all that stuff. We're having to worry about what he's up to because we got him a little headset so he could talk to people. And we figured out they were kind of picking on him because he's 7. He's playing Roblox and there were older kids and they figured out he was really young. He's like, yeah, I don't know a whole lot of words. We're like, okay, no, we gotta
teach him the right ones.
This
Yeah.
is not where to learn them either.
Yeah. They're going to start teaching him some other words, and Daddy already does that enough, and it pisses off Mommy. So we're going to have to put in some of those blockers and safeguards and all
Net
that.
nanny.
Yeah.
Yeah, Net Nanny. That's
Net
it.
nanny back in the day.
That's what we used.
That happened with my son for some of the Destiny stuff when he was first starting with the original version of Destiny. He was jumping in and smoking a bunch of folks, and then they found out he was like 12 at the time, and they started giving him some attitude. And it because of all of his time playing soccer, he'd actually handled it pretty well. He's like, you can say whatever you want. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah.
This is
my KDR.
all these guys. And
That's how to win friends and influence people.
yeah, he was just plowing through folks, and nowadays he's doing it to them on FIFA more than anything because. Yeah, Dave knows this. I'm not sure how many of the rest of y'all do. My son's actually going to college on a partial esports scholarship, so it's worked out
Nice.
for him. So
That's pretty cool.
Oh, good.
It's awesome.
They've got esports scholarships now. No shit.
yes, they
Yeah,
do.
it's big business.
It's not a full ride. It's a partial, but it every bit helps when it's a private.
Every
school,
bit helps.
so.
That's
Yeah.
right.
No, more power to him. Good job. It's not
Yeah,
exactly
so
an easy
he,
thing to get into.
No, he was their first FIFA player. Just brag on the kid here for a second. His first national tournament, he finished 3rd. So
Nice.
yeah,
Damn.
so he's doing
He
well.
worked,
with
he
it.
worked a lot in little booth a few times for me. I remember that. He did.
He
great
did.
job.
He did. Dave put him to work a couple of Origins in a row there for a bit. So
Nice.
he was working the booth there. He
That's
was,
why he decided he needed an education.
yeah, he was a booth minion for Dave for a few years. So
Hey, Kurt, how you doing, buddy? I've called you. So tag was your it, buddy. It's on you now.
all right. Hey guys, I need to unplug and head back inside. The wife's hollering at me. So I
All right,
need to
guys.
go.
Well, I guess we're going to say tonight. I just want to wish everyone a safe and happy New Year.
Mhm.
Try not to get the vid, and stay 6 feet apart. Right?
Now you're gonna make Jester feel bad because he just shows up and everybody's like, "All right, we're out."
Yeah, right. Gotta go.
We've been here for like 2 hours.
Yeah, we've been here for 2 hours.
I
It's
called him earlier
totally on.
today. I called him earlier today back. He called me back. I called him back. So we've just been playing tag. But there you go.
He gets to watch the replay later. So,
Not
There you
talking. We didn't talk about you at all, Kurt. You're safe.
but thanks for inviting me for this, Dave. Appreciate it.
No, it was good. We never. It's been a year since we got together. I think like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Well, we're going to say Happy New Year. We're going to say goodbye and start the ending music. And everyone wave. You know the deal. Happy New Year. See you next year.
Well, that is all you have for this episode. Keep gaming, and may God bless you and keep you until next time. On the air is a Lock and Load Publishing production.